All right, so today's webinar is being recorded, and I'll make sure that I send it to you all after today's meeting. And you're welcome to share it with any of your colleagues that maybe couldn't come to the meeting today. Today we're here for the Washington Smarter Lunchrooms Partners meeting, and we have many of you have been a part of this group for the last year or so since we got started, and we have a few new people who have joined us for this call and hopefully for many more of our conversations to come. These calls are intended for us to provide updates on things going on in our state around smarter lunchrooms and share our success stories and best practices and ask questions and think about ways that we can better support smarter lunchrooms as a state. So my name is Bianca Smith, and I work for OSPI Child Nutrition Services. I am a program specialist nutritionist, and my primary role with OSPI is to provide support to nutrition best practices in schools, childcare centers, and any other place that we might be feeding kids in our state. So Smarter Lunchrooms is a big part of that. Okay. So today's agenda is to overview the activities that took place at the Smarter Lunchroom Symposium, which was in at Cornell University in Ithaca, New York, a long, far ways away. And talk about the Smarter Lunchrooms Technical Assistance Provider Training opportunity coming up in our state. And then we'll talk a little bit about a new statewide school wellness award that OSPI is working on. And then we'll have an open mic, or I guess an open chat box for those of you who don't have microphones or who can't use microphones today, for you to share any of the updates you have on activities you're doing around smarter lunchrooms, or even just school wellness support, or even if you have any questions or comments at that time, we can talk about that as well. So first, let's talk about the Smarter Lunchroom Symposium. For those of you who aren't familiar with the Smarter Lunchroom Symposium, this is a national,
never heard of it.
I guess you could call it a national conference for smarter lunchrooms that's operated by the National Smarter Lunchrooms Office. And every year they invite anybody and everybody to come and get a full 2-day training on smarter lunchrooms, where they go into all the nitty-gritty details of the research behind the strategies and provide best practices and tips and resources to help you with supporting schools with smarter lunchrooms. And by the end of the symposium, they provide technical assistance provider, or TAP is what we often call it, TAP certification for smarter lunchrooms, meaning that you are nationally recognized as a smarter lunchrooms expert and are prepared, very well prepared to go into schools and provide them with technical assistance around smarter lunchrooms. So this year, in the past, they've often used the National Smarter Lunchroom staff to provide the Smarter Lunchroom trainings over the course of 2 days. But this year, they decided to utilize state leaders for smarter lunchrooms to provide the trainings, because although the people working at the national office are very, very knowledgeable about the research behind smarter lunchrooms, they don't often get the chance to work directly within the schools implementing the strategies. So the folks that presented this year had the opportunity to provide their own spin on smarter lunchrooms and provide their own stories and best practices. I was invited to present this year on behalf of Washington State And so that was awesome. I presented on Smarter Meal Times, which is the childcare adaptation of Smarter Lunchrooms. And there were actually this year a few childcare programs that participated in the symposium just for that reason. So at the symposium, they emphasized a strong need nationally for states to develop Smarter Lunchrooms collaboratives, which the intention behind that is that states would have a state-level support system to provide training and technical assistance around Smarter Lunchrooms and to share updates on Smarter Lunchrooms resources, develop new resources, and things like that. So Washington, just with these calls that we've been doing for the last year and a half or so, we, in a way, have our own state collaborative already, and kind of back in 2014 is really when it all started with the Team Nutrition Grant that OSPI partnered with WSU Extension SNAP-Ed on implementing. And my hope is that over the next, many years to come, we'll make this collaborative even stronger and maybe have, hopefully many more participants in our collaborative. I would consider all of you on this call strong leaders in Smarter Lunchrooms in our state, and many of you have colleagues that you work with that are also working around Smarter Lunchrooms. So hopefully you all can promote this group to your colleagues and get more of them involved with our conversation, because really, I can, talk about Smarter Lunchrooms all day, but you guys are all the ones that are daily on the ground working with schools and helping them with Smarter Lunchrooms. One thing that was communicated at the symposium, I guess privately, so hopefully they don't mind me sharing this, but with me and the other presenters from the other states that are operating state collaboratives, they communicated to us that there's uncertainty regarding the funding for Smarter Lunchrooms at the national level. And one part of that concern was that there may not be funds to support providing a Smarter Lunchroom Symposium at the national level in the future. Now, that's not definite at this point, but it's still not looking like it's going to happen, at least in the next year. So one thing that they granted to Washington State and a few of the other states who have state collaboratives currently going on is they granted me and those other key leaders in Smarter Lunchrooms the ability to provide technical assistance provider training in our own states or really anywhere, and we have the ability to bestow upon the people that come to those trainings the official national level technical assistance provider certification. So I'll be talking a little bit about what that means for us now. So I actually have connected with the Department of Health in Washington on the possibility of offering a Smarter Lunchrooms technical assistance provider training in Washington in the next year for SNAP-Ed folks, and really anybody who's interested in learning about Smarter Lunchrooms at a higher level. The expectation would be that this is a full-day training, and we would offer this training in 2 different locations, one location on the east side of the state and one location on the west side of the state. Right now, I'm working on trying to identify no low-cost options like Smarter Lunchrooms for our training locations. So I'm trying to identify if someone has sound playing in the back. I love that music, but just make sure that you're muted. So we're hoping to find a free training locations for each of these trainings. So if you know that in your SNAP Ed office, you know you have a fairly large conference room or space that you would normally use for training that you guys are able to allow OSPI to rent out from you guys to provide the training. Let me know. I know that a lot of you guys do have at least some kind of space in your offices to provide meetings and maybe small trainings, but we're hoping to find a location that can hold up to 50 people, ideally, because we want as many of you SNAP Ed folks and really anybody else that can take advantage of this training, because it's a really great opportunity for you all. I know one thing that was communicated to me from a few different SNAP Ed educators was this great interest to go to the National Smarter Lunchroom Symposium, but not having the resources to get there, because it's not cheap to go to Ithaca, New York. It's kind of in the middle of nowhere, and airline tickets there are really expensive, and all the hotels there are very expensive. But also that that's a long ways away. So it's really hard for you all who are really busy to, take the time out of your work to go to something like that. So we want to take this opportunity to offer this, essentially the same training to as many of you all as possible, so that you can have all of the information and resources that you need to support schools with smarter lunchrooms. So the plan at this point is to offer this training, both of the trainings, sometime in the spring of 2019. And I guess there would be more details to come. We're still kind of working out how this is going to work out for you all, especially for the SNAP Ed folks, as far as your travel. But just stay tuned, and we'll let you know as things progress what you should expect and what to plan for. So now let's talk about the Child Nutrition All-Stars. So as you all probably know, and if you don't know, the Healthier U.S. School Challenge, or HUSC, applications are no longer being accepted nationally. OSPI does have a few schools that submitted them before the deadline of June 30th that we're still in the process of reviewing. And then we have a deadline to get those to our regional office by the end of September. Then there's then after those applications are processed and approved, there will be no more schools awarded in our state. And this is because at the national level, the funding for the Healthier U.S. School Challenge was cut. So there's no money to give out, and also no money to support the oversight of the program at the national level. However, in Washington, we didn't want to let this be a cutoff to us in our ability to recognize schools for the great things that they're doing to support school wellness best practices. So I've been brainstorming with some of our OSPI staff on what are some ways that we can, what's a way that we can keep this type of effort going, and maybe even simplify it, because if any of you have worked on Healthier U.S. School Challenge applications before, you know that they're really challenging for schools to complete. There's a lot of information required, and even after you've spent hours and hours gathering information about the different questions on the application, a lot of times there's still additional detail that's needed. And so we want to simplify a process for schools to get recognized for the great things that they're doing, but not make it a burden on them to receive that recognition. So something that our National School Lunch Program team came up with was providing some kind of award when the working title is Child Nutrition All-Stars. If you have a better name, please share that with me, because I don't want it to sound, I don't want the award to sound cheesy to anyone. I want it to sound cool and fun and something that our schools would be into and excited about. So the idea behind these awards would be that anybody could really fill out an application for a school if they recognize that that school is achieving something above and beyond in school wellness, such as farm to school, smarter lunchrooms, local school wellness policy, or really anything. I'm still trying to come up with a list of different award categories that we might have. And a school can apply for any one or all of these award categories. And similar to Husk, I would like it to have a bronze, silver, and gold level, depending on the level of achievement that they've received. And then each award would last for 3 years. So if they're awarded this year, it would last through the fall of 2021. So one reason why our NSLP staff wanted to create this is because they go out to schools every 3 years to conduct an administrative review, which I'm sure many of you are familiar with that process being really stressful and hard on school districts, because we're really asking for a lot of documentation, and there's a lot of rules they have to follow. And a lot of times school districts feel kind of bogged down in all the rules of the program and feel like that's all it's really about, and that we're not supportive of, you know, the great things that they're doing outside of just the rules of the program. So our staff really want an opportunity to recognize those great things that they're doing. You know, it might not have anything to do with the rules of the program. You know, they're doing farm to school. We think that's great. We want to recognize that they're serving fresh kale on their salad bar or whatever it might be. So this is an opportunity for them to say, hey, you're doing really well with farm to school activities. You should apply for this award. And this is also something that you all can help do, is promote this opportunity to the schools that you're working with if you see that they're doing something really great. And the idea would be that the schools that are awarded, of course, we don't have funding to provide them, like with the Healthier You at School Challenge, but we do want to provide as much promotion and recognition for the schools that are awarded. So we would include them on our website, and we would send out regular promotions of the schools that are awarded through our OSPI communication networks, both to food service directors and to other administrative staff working in schools, so that they're aware of, hey, it looks like our school district next door is doing all these really great things around smarter lunchrooms and farm to school. Maybe we should look into those things and make an effort. And hopefully it will uplift and recognize those schools that are already doing these great things, and also let other schools know that these are things that we really that we really want our schools to be doing, and these are things that we support schools with, and these are valuable achievements that we see from at the OSPI level. So hopefully it would encourage more schools to implement some of these practices. So if you all have any input on this, I guess, award opportunity, I would really love to hear from you all about ways that we could improve this, and what would be the best way to deliver the application. I was thinking of making it kind of similar in a way to the Healthier You at School Challenge, where it would be like an editable PDF or an online survey that they could complete and submit to us. And we would be, we could receive a notification anytime something is submitted, and we can review it. And similar to Healthier You at School Challenge, we would, if there was any additional information that might be needed to award that school, we would ask for it. We wouldn't just turn schools away. So does anybody have any feedback or ideas about that before we move on? All right, well, if you do think of anything, please send me an email or give me a call and let me know if there's a way that you think we could improve this award opportunity, or if there's something different that we should be doing other than this. So my hope is that once we get this off the ground, and it could take until wintertime before we have an application officially put together for this award. But my hope would be that you all could be kind of help get this off the ground and let your schools know about this award opportunity, and we'll be letting schools know on our end too at OSPI. And we might even be targeting, target some schools that we know are already doing some great things around school wellness best practices to help to have them kind of jumpstart this award initiative and get their names up on our website and promote that, and hopefully that would help get the word out too. So now let's talk about any Smarter Lunchrooms updates that you all might have. I know many of you don't have a microphone, so even if you don't have a microphone and you can't speak out loud, if you could type something into the chat box, if you have something, really anything to share about work that you're doing with schools, whether it be around Smarter Lunchrooms or any other school wellness activities. And to get us started, I have a really cool story to share with you all. The Lower Columbia School Gardens for, I believe it's Kelso and Longview School District is, this summer they participated in, I guess, farm to school, but for the summer feeding programs. And they took fresh fruits and vegetables from the gardens that the kids were working in, and they had the kids prepare, artisan pizzas that you can see here and served them to the community. And they actually sold the pizzas to have all the funding go back into supporting the school gardens, the many school gardens in those communities, to help keep those programs going. And I just think that that's awesome. That pizza looks really good, and I can't believe that there's kids making those pizzas. Does anybody else have something they'd like to share with the group about work they're doing with schools?
Bianca, this is Rayanne. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, good. I'll share a little bit. It doesn't look like I'm not sure who's on the call. I'm sorry I was late, but I'm Rayanne. We're WSU Extension Food Sense in Spokane County. And last year, a year ago, we shared about our food adventure lesson that we, or little activity that we do in schools. And so I'll tell you a little bit for those who hadn't heard about it. Can you hear me still, Bianca? Okay. Bianca?
Yeah, I can hear you. Sorry,
Okay.
I was muted.
No, am I coming across okay, everybody?
Yeah, you sound loud and clear.
Okay. So this was an activity that we developed in collaboration with Spokane Regional Health District. We they helped do the graphics, and we applied. We have to this. It's just a 20-minute little activity, and we incorporated Smarter Lunchroom principles into this. So we have fun names for the fruits and vegetables. So we've got farm to school. We ask kids to kind of make an commitment to take an adventure bite and try new foods. So it encourages selection and consumption of our fruits and vegetables. And so this is for the youngest kids in the school, the brand new little kindergartners. And we hope that they'll be our customers in the cafeteria. And if not, we do a little piece on the farm to school. So we partner with kitchen teams to do this activity in our food bank schools. And we have the kitchen teams. We think it's important to include them in the whole process because the kids want to see that they're a friendly team. They want to get a chance to meet the kitchen staff. And then the kitchen team does a part on demonstrating how to select from the fruit and veggie bar and how to make a rainbow. We call a rainbows two colors. And that they do that section, and then they tell the kids what their favorite vegetable is. And then we do a little section, I'm just kind of summarizing, we do a little section with a mystery bag and demonstrate where fruits and vegetables come from. So there's 3 messages with the being a food adventure. They're willing to try new foods, they make a little rainbow at the salad bar, and they take adventure bites. And so then we do this little activity. We arrange and have one kindergarten class at a time come to the cafeteria and do this in combination with the kitchen teams. And we find that when we keep it going in the cafeteria, and we include it in this little poster in the classroom. So it's a whole kind of complete little activity with resources. And we find it's real successful, especially when the kindergarten teachers keep it going. But this year, what we are trying to do is we like it for our food sense schools, but wouldn't it be great if more kitchen teams could do it? So we want to kind of have it sustainable and expand it to more schools. And so we've shortened the activity to make it more doable for a kitchen team to do on their own. And then I just completed 3 trainings with 3 different school districts, nutrition services teams, at their back to school staff trainings on how to do this food adventure activity in their cafeteria. And we provided them with helpful tips and resources, and then we'll support them in any way they can. We also do 3 little half-page newsletters throughout the year. So that's a little update on our food adventure activity that does incorporate Smarter Lunchroom and has been really successful in use with the kindergarten kids. So if anyone's interested in more about that, I could send some stuff to Bianca and be willing to share. So.
Yeah, anybody that's interested, just let me know, and I'd be happy to share that. I think Rayanne, you already sent me some things, but
yeah, if anybody has any questions now for me.
Yeah. Don't see any questions coming through, but yeah, feel free to reach out to me or Rayanne if you have our contact information and if you have any questions about that. Thanks, Rayanne. Thanks for sharing that. I just think that's so awesome that you're doing that. I think it's a great idea. Okay, so it looks like we got a message in the chat box. from Ashley Mayer and Amber Nuskoff, maybe? I don't know. It's cut off, so I can only see the first name. They said the Nooksack School District is going to be offering the Harvest of the Month featured crop all month long, each Thursday, instead of just the one day a month. This will allow one of our educators to be at each school to offer samples and to educate the kids on the fruit or veggie, and it also gives the kids more opportunities to try the Harvest of the Month. We are also in talks with the food service director trying to find a way to bring samples into the classrooms. Awesome. That's a really great idea. Thanks for sharing that. Anybody else have any more successes they want to share? All right, well, we'll go ahead and conclude our call for today. Please, again, just a reminder, if there are any more of your colleagues that you think might be interested in being a part of these calls, please have them contact me directly and have them let me know that they're interested in being added to the contact list, and I'll add them so they get notifications when we'll be having our meetings. Also, if you ever have any success stories around smarter lunchrooms and or really anything that you're doing in school wellness, please share those with me, because I really do love cheering on the work that you all do, and I think that you all learn so many new ways to do things and have success with those different ways of doing things. And a lot of times we don't get a chance to share that with other people, and so other people can say, wow, that's a really great idea. I wish that I thought of that. But then now more people can take advantage of maybe some of the resources or processes that you've come up with in the work that you do. So even whether you're willing to present on one of these calls yourself and share some of the things that you're doing, or if you're willing to share with me, I love to share that with everybody on our call, any of our calls in the future. And I got a question from, I think that's Gabrielle from Mason County, asking if we know if there will still be smarter lunchroom trainings in Mason County. And I would contact Julie Guyton. She's currently working on providing those trainings. Oh, and there goes Julie. Yep. All right, so thank you everybody for joining us for today's call. Hopefully the recording of the call went well, and I can send you all the link to either listen yourself again or share with your colleagues. And I will talk to you all next time. Thank you all for coming.
Thanks, Bianca.